Hi there, this is Cassie Rape, the math coordinator at Houston County Schools. Today we're working out question number 13 from the graduation practice test. This is a trigonometry question, and it's probably one of the hardest ones that happens to make its way onto the graduation test. Here's the big thing about, by the way, this particular question is an actual question taken from the state of Georgia's graduation test bank, essentially. They even put this on their own practice test. So there are a couple of things that you need to know. Number one, it's right triangles. When it's talking angle of depression or angle of elevation, you're talking right triangles. Number two, you need SOHCAHTOA. Okay? Remember, in a right triangle, with trigonometry, you are the angle. It's never from the point of view of a side. You are always in one of the two angles. Okay? That being said, you've got to pretend that you're standing there looking there and there and there at the sides and determine what is that side to me. The first and most obvious is hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is always opposite HYPOTENUSE, hypotenuse. It's always opposite the 90-degree angle. Always, always, always. This one for sine and this one for cosine. Those two have hypotenuse in it, okay? The hypotenuse is never called adjacent. It's never called opposite. Hypotenuse is hypotenuse, okay? Secondly, O stands for opposite. From you, the side is either opposite or adjacent. Opposite means you're not touching it in any way. So in this one, to you, this would be opposite, okay? And the one you're standing on would be adjacent. Alright, does that make sense? Now, just for the sake of argument, let's say that you're not in this angle right here. What if you were in this angle up here? If you are this little guy right here, what changes is now opposite is right here and adjacent is right here. Okay? So it depends on where you are, which angle you are in, as far as which is opposite or adjacent, but the hypotenuse never changes. The hypotenuse is the hypotenuse. Okay? SOHCAHTOA. The important thing about SOHCAHTOA is that you're going to have to use either the sine or the cosine or the tangent. SOHCAHTOA helps you to determine which of those you use. Okay, so that being said, I want you to notice the right triangle here. It wants to know, it says, what is the approximate width of the widest part of the canyon? The canyon is right here. Okay, but the angle, the triangle that you're talking about, it has to start at it's got a vertical side, this line right here. So that's only part of the triangle, the distance across. Basically, the reason I'm bringing this up is that you'll notice that the very center of that tower is 10 feet away from the edge. Whatever you get for this length right here down, let me do it in pink, down here across the bottom, you need to figure that out. Okay, whatever you get for that, you're going to have to subtract 10 because it's asking you for the width of the canyon, and the width of the canyon starts here and ends here. Okay, that being said, we're not going to worry about that right now, but just at the very end, we're going to have to subtract 10. Okay, so looking at this, angle of, if this one is 26, then this one is also 26, because those are alternate interior angles. Okay, basically, if they make basically the two elbows of a Z, either forward or backward, then they're the same length. Okay, so basically what you've got is this, and I'm going to remove it from the picture so that it's really, really clear. This is a 90-degree angle because we're assuming that tower is straight up and down. This is 30 feet. This is 26 degrees. Okay, this is what you want. You'll have to subtract 10 in a minute, but we're not going to worry about that right now. So you have to ask yourself, alright, well, in this trigonometry question, who am I? And remember the answer. Who are you? You are the angle. Always, always, always. There you stand, the little man right there, that's you. You're the angle. So you have to say, okay, to me, the little man right here, what is that 30? Is it adjacent, opposite, or hypotenuse? First of all, hypotenuse is always hypotenuse. Hypotenuse. Never fail. The hypotenuse is the hypotenuse, okay? So the 30 is not a hypotenuse. The x is not a hypotenuse. 30 is opposite. X is adjacent, okay? So that's O, and that's A. So you have to look at SOHCAHTOA. Those are the three that you have to remember. OA, OA, OA. Which one is that? That's tangent, okay? Tangent is the one you're using. So you do tangent of the angle. Tangent is never, tangent, sine or cosine. They're never of anything but angles. Ever, ever, ever. Okay? You never take the tangent of a sine. So the tangent of the angle is equal to opposite, which is 30, over adjacent, which is x. Now, when you have a sine, cosine, or tangent, basically a trigonometry problem, where the x is in the bottom like that, if you'll take the tangent and exchange it with the x, that's kind of the quick trick. But let's pretend you don't know that, okay? Basically, this is tangent, that's a fraction, 30 over x. Make them both fractions by putting tangent of 26 over 1. And when you have a fraction equals a fraction, you can cross multiply. So 30 times 1 is 30. And x times tangent of 26 is x tangent 26. Okay? Now, focus. I know that it's a lot to look at right now, but focus on the x, because that's what you need. You need the x. X is currently multiplying tangent of 26, so you divide by the tangent of 26. Divide by the tangent of 26. Okay? So, x is equal to 30 divided by the tangent of 26. Now, if you look at this, remember what I said? That 30 over the tangent of 26, let's just go ahead and put that in the calculator just so that it'll give us an approximation. Now, I know that you will not have a super, you won't have a TI-84 or a TI-83. What you're going to have is a scientific calculator. Now, the good thing about that is that the scientific calculator defaults to degrees. It doesn't default to radians. So, with this particular calculator, it's just the one that I happen to have that I can show you. Okay, that I can show you. Here we go. Clear. Go back. Okay, I'm on the home screen now. With this kind of calculator, I always have to check and make sure it's in degrees and not radians, because it defaults to radians. So it's in degrees, and that's good. So I have to go 30 divided by 30 divided by the tangent of 26. Okay, that gives me 61.5, so roughly 62. But remember what I said? Let's go back up here and look. 62 is this entire length, all the way across the bottom, or the entire red amount, all the way across the bottom of the original picture. Do you see? From the center of the tower all the way to the tip of the line of sight from that fire tower, okay? But remember what the question is. It's highlighted in yellow. It says, what is the approximate width of the widest part of the canyon? Well, the widest part of the canyon starts here and goes to here. You know the red length. The red length is 62. But to find the blue length all the way across, from here to here, all you have to do is subtract 10, because 10 is from the center of the fire tower to the edge. So if you take 62 right here and subtract 10, minus 10, that would give you about 52. Okay, and so the answer is A. You'll notice that you see 30 over tangent of 26, and then you'll see that you subtracted 10, and the answer is about 52 feet. So I know that's a complicated problem. My advice is ask your teacher for a couple more angle of elevation or angle of depression questions if you are confused about this. It's not a hard question, but it's very complicated. So this would be a good one to practice and to ask for some more from your teacher. Okay? Good luck.